Yo, what's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? ASMR popping back with some poppin' ASMR. And in tonight's video, I have something that's a little bit different. I have Tonight I'm going to talk about one of my favorite horror movies. I wanted to do a scary kind of video, but I didn't want to do the usual skinwalker story, ghost story, pull someone's story off of Reddit and read it to you. So I decided I would talk about my favorite horror movie. And it is called The Taking of Deborah Logan. The taking of Deborah Logan. And I have a little story behind it too. Okay, so spoiler alert, if you're interested in watching this movie, I'd recommend watching it before you watch my review of it, because I will talk about it. There isn't really any big twist. I'm mainly going to be talking about the core of the movie, so it's a lot better whenever you're experiencing it fresh, but there's your spoiler warning. Go watch the movie. It really is a good movie if you like horror movies. This video isn't going to be spooky or anything, don't worry. Well, it might be a little bit spooky. But a fun spooky, don't worry. Okay, so I've had this cup of ice sitting here waiting on me. Because I'm actually going to pour myself a drink. Before I get into this video. So I'm going to make a little bit of ice sounds before I pour up the drink and tell you about my favorite horror movie. So, I actually have a Dr. Pepper cream soda. Or what's left of one. I probably have another cup, another glass, if you will, full. movie, it starts off by explaining that a bunch of college kids are coming to this older woman's house in order to do a documentary style kind of project, if you will. So basically, this old woman who has a disease, she has Alzheimer's, and these college kids are doing a documentary about it. And as they're filming their documentary, this woman, Deborah Logan, slowly starts slipping into what you wouldn't, as you're watching, what you wouldn't be able to tell whether it is the disease taking effect or what it is, it starts to lead into is a demon possessing her. But it's super suspenseful because it doesn't confirm whether that's actually the case or if this old woman has her disease taking over her life, which is horrible. And these college kids basically face the same problem where, wow, this woman is acting very weird, but you can't call it that because she has Alzheimer's, and that's very messed up. And this woman, this old woman, she lives with her daughter who's taking care of her, and her daughter realizes what is going on, and that it is very not normal. And even she starts getting a little bit suspicious of the whole thing. So it starts off relatively normal. They all introduce each other and the crew. So there are shots throughout the movie. For example, while they are showing off their rooms in the house to where the crew that is filming the documentary will be staying, you can see in the back Deborah, the older woman, is looking at the camera directly, kind of breaking the fourth wall. Except in this movie, they're obviously filming a documentary, so it wouldn't really be breaking the fourth wall. But that feeling, that unsettling look that she is giving the camera, those kind of background shots happen throughout the movie, and it is horrifying. I'm not a fan of jump scares. I like more subtle horror. I like when they actually set up. Having good world building is way better than just a dookie jump scare, in my opinion. Because instead of being scared for like half a second, I want to be scared throughout the whole movie. Which brings me, the first time I watched this movie was with my cousin and my best friend, and we were, I don't know, hydrated. We were hydrated when we watched this movie. And we were watching it on my cousin's laptop in his dark house. It was just us. We were basically watching over the house while his family was out of town. His mom was actually staying at his stepdad's house. So we were the only ones there in this dark house because we gotta get the vibes right for a scary movie. So we were watching this movie, and we were actually watching it in the kitchen, then we watched it outside, then we finished it in the everything was going completely normal when we were watching it in the kitchen, which is where we started. It went from the kitchen to outside to the living room towards the end of the movie. And while we were in the kitchen, we very quickly got the sense that, oh my gosh, this is going to be a good movie, and we are in for the long run. actually a cold night, so we were bundled in blankets when we went outside to smoke. It's not really that important, but detail is a detail. Detail is detail. When we come in from smoking, we're about mostly through the movie, but not really a spoiler, but the movie gets insane towards the end. There's like a turn, and once you get around this turn, it is just constant boom, 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 boom. Something's happening, something's happening, something's happening. No, 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 no. New this, new that, new this, new that. It's crazy. It just hits a turning point where they're keeping you hooked. And we were about, actually, no one, now that I think about it, we got to the end of the movie, and something horrifying had happened. So, at the end of this movie, spoilers, huge spoilers, this woman abducts a little girl, and I don't know why, I don't think it's actually how it goes, but there's a shot of this woman going from eating someone to looking at the camera. So she's just there eating someone, and then a camera and a flashlight gets pointed at her at the same time, and she just looks at the camera. And right when that happened, the laptop just shut off. It was like it had froze, but just boom, black screen. And I know what you're like. Wow, bro. Congrats on your timing. The computer died at a scary moment. Ooh, so scary. When we watched the movie, he had taken the PC off the charger. It was at 100%. And I don't know about you, but laptops do not die in 2 hours. It's a pretty long movie, but it's not long enough. After the PC had shut off, we immediately turned it back on to confirm that it wasn't dead. And it turned on, and we did not finish the movie. We were tripping. It was already late, so we had to go to sleep at some point. We were not fixing to finish that movie. We were high, and our minds were just overthinking. I have watched it since then. It is still one of my favorite horror movies. It is not as scary, but it is still such a good movie. And my favorite thing is to put it on for people who haven't seen it and watching their reactions to it. Because it's almost like I'm watching it a second time by seeing their reactions. And it has never shut off since. That was so weird.